Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. You know, they're talking about charging the other officers in the death of George Floyd, and they should charge those officers in the death of George Floyd, the other four. We want to go after first-degree murder, and if we can't get first-degree murder, second-degree murder, but the third-degree murder, that's the state of mind of Chauvin, the officer who pinned his knee up against the neck of George Floyd's. And that'll be very difficult to, can be done, but it'll be hard to do. Let's go for first-degree murder, possible second-degree murder. Excuse me. The unrest that we all seeing playing out in the streets, we want to get into that as well. But I just want to give you the latest update. There will be charges brought against the other three officers who pinned his knee, his leg, and his back down in 2020. A modern-day lynching in broad daylight with no regard to human life, in particular, black life. Wow. Now, I just want to say something to the family of the victim from my hometown, that the city stands with you. And to all the other victims, from Sandra Bland, we can go all the way back to Emmett Till. We can go back to Rodney King. We can go back to Amadou Diallo. I mean, we can just go off and name, you know, and the wise saw this day coming when this country would implode. We saw it. And when people take to the streets and just really go off as the way that's being done right now as far as the looting and the burning of buildings and the destruction, some are out there for their own personal gain. So many different reasons why people are out there. Some are saying, let's go to the extreme so there will not be another one, because this is for the next one, you know, because it should have been stopped a long time ago. See, some of these names of those who've been murdered by police officers shouldn't have been, but the response is saying, what can we do to ensure that there's not another one? You know, this is for the next one, in hopes that there will not be a next one. It's because there's been too many already. So I just wanted to put that out there, so when people step up to the microphone and they say, you know, hey, look, you know, stop the violence, stop the tearing up of cities, stop the fires. This is not what their family member or the one that died at the hands of the police, that this is not what they want. They wouldn't, that's not who they are. That's not the way that they would respond. And that's true, because you hear countless people that knew George Floyd who says that he was a gentle giant. But that image, that symbolic picture, of cops kneeling on his body, and the particular one of the knee and the neck, sent shockwaves through the psyche, and people just went batshit crazy. But in saying that, never again, this cannot, what extreme measures do the public has to go into to make sure that this doesn't happen again? Now they calling for leadership from Donald Trump. And what he fails to realize, and what everybody is waiting to hear from officials, is what plans do you have in place, or what actions are you going to take to make sure things like this doesn't happen again? That's leadership. And the people will be at peace. They'll be at rest. They'll relax. The people will relax, because then they can hold you accountable to these actions, and now they have something to counter or fight back with. And when I'm saying fight back with, meaning the legislation that was passed or the steps that was passed to make sure incidents like this would never occur again. And that way they can hold you accountable to your word and what was actually documented. That's what the people are waiting on. Now, as far as the people saying anarchists are in the midst of this protest, Antifa, some say Antifa, but Antifa is in the midst of the protest, and some white supremacists in the protest. I don't know, hell, could be, but one thing I do know, when the colonizing his children start fighting and tearing up, they fight and they tear up. History is proving it. When they, hell, ask the Native Americans, hell, ask black people who brought over in slavery. What was this slogan? Give me liberty or give me death. That, so when they want a change, and when they're fed up, and when they feel like, it's getting close to home, and when they get out and protest and demonstrate, it's on a whole nother level. It's on a whole nother level. So, hey, we just want to give you that latest bit of news that they will charge the other 3 officers. It's coming. It has to come. It was just, the whole thing was just utterly ridiculous. But people are saying, no more, man. That's a cause for a therapeutic healing, witnessing a human being die in that manner, screaming for his mother that had been passed in 2 years. He's looking for any kind of help. Somebody, I'm dying out here. And I have an audience that's watching these police officers who is supposed to serve and protect, snuff my life out. And my hands are cuffed behind my back. And there's nothing I can do about it. Calling for his mama, just spirit. Just, I know he's not going to get off my neck. Just help me relieve some of this pain and take me out now. Pain is too bearable for him to handle. Sick, mixed up individuals. And people were like, this is not the America I want to raise my children in. Parents was it was so horrific to where parents were making their children turn their heads, or they were turning off the TV or telling them, don't watch this. You know, it sent a chill and a shock through the remaining of the sane individuals that's on the planet. There's a lot of crazy folks out there, but to the sane, they felt that was a joke. Meaning that there's been murders and killings, over time. And people was going about business as usual. You know, you got immune to it. But this particular one, it passed through all the immunity, almost like the virus. It went through everything. And it hit the heart. It hit home. You know, through all the chaos that was going on in society, through the COVID-19, through all the killings and the fighting and whatnot, the stock market losing its value, that particular death of George Floyd penetrated through all of that and hit the heart. Now, another side of the protesters are who? Because you see some of everyone out there. These are people who are fighting against racism. And yes, they're using the death of George Floyd, but the theme is racism. You know, I want you all to understand. The theme is racism. And so, to the Sikhs whose temple was shot up, you know, they went in and was killing Sikhs. They out there stopped the racism protest. Some of the Jews whose synagogue was ran up in and killed, out there protesting. Some of the Muslims who mosque, especially in New Zealand, when they ran in the mosque and just start killing Muslims while they praying. They're out there protesting. Some of the Hispanic brethren, Mexicans, when the guy went in El Paso and a Walmart was just shooting up and he said he just wanted to kill Mexicans, Hispanics, the brown, just wanted to kill them. They're out there protesting. Black folks who've been a victim of racism since there was in America, out there protesting. I mean, you Japanese out there protesting. You put my family in internment camps during the war, out there protesting. I mean, Native Americans. Man, I'm living in Navajo. I don't have no running water, no electricity. My people dying from COVID. My land been took. I'm living in shambles. They're out there protesting. You know, and it turned into a nationwide protest against racism, looking for a solution, not from the victims of racism, but from the ones who implement racism. The people are saying, what are you all going to do? Because, come on, man, we done had preachers, pastors, we done had so many people that go out and speak upon the pain and hurt that racism caused, and hoping that those that implements the racism would pay attention and say, you know what, you all are right. Let's see if we can better ourselves, and let's watch these practices and make sure that we eradicate these unjust practices out of our society. And over time, it's like it's still there. People are fed up, and they're saying, look, fix this shit right now. Let's end it right now. We're not dealing with it no more. Let's fix it. And look, we need real live people reporting the news in the media, the journalists. We don't in situations like this, you can't be biased. You got to put everything on the table if you truly want to heal the country. You can't have no agendas, and you don't want to say certain things to upset certain people, and you don't want to say nothing negative against the law enforcement because you ride around with a bumper sticker that's saying Blue Lives Matter. You don't want to say nothing when you see a white police officer comes on the media and says, well, 99.9% of the police officers around the nation are good. It's just that 1%. It wouldn't be that many killings if it was just 1%, man. Come on. We know that some people become police officers. They racist just so they can carry out their agenda on minorities. And you know it as well. That's why you got two separate police unions. You got a black police union and a white police union. That's why it's not integrated. Come on. Stop playing with the people. And let's deal with the situation. That's the thing. Stop playing with the people. Don't stop shucking and jiving with the people. The folks fed up with all that. They really want some solutions because the future that they project, the future that they see in their minds and how they want it to be for their children is not what's in the current reality. What's in the current reality is hatred, bigotry, racism, poverty, crime, destruction, mass shootings, Dylan Root going to a black church, killed 9. He gets a meal and he gets funding with the, crazed man in Las Vegas on a balcony shooting down at concert goers. Just, what the hell? Ridiculous. Crazed gunman walks into this establishment, that establishment, the other establishment, and shoots up people. Deranged teen goes into a high school and open fire on students. What's really going on? This is an end to all of it. And while we have a chance as individuals, as men, as women, to right the wrongs for a better future, then that's what we should be doing. Who else is going to do it? And who else is going to do it? Unless you're waiting for God himself to come and fix it, and you're not going to like it when the Creator comes himself and fix it for us. Because, you trust me, you wouldn't want that. It's almost like when you were younger, like your parents, and you and your sibling was in a dispute, and they got fed up, and they said, you know what, y'all two fix this amongst yourselves. Go in the room, talk, close it out, whatever. But when y'all come up out of here, there better be some peace and some resolution. Right. Because if I got to come in there and fix it, trust me, you're not going to like it. And that's what's going on right now. We got time to fix it. Yeah, people had got the right. People had to vent their frustrations, and it was packed up in there for too much. And as I can recall, and I'm not quoting this perfect, but I remember hearing Minister Farrakhan say, and by the way, speaking of the minister, Mr. Farrakhan, you cannot have a session with leaders if you're not reaching out to Minister Farrakhan. But I can remember Minister Farrakhan saying that you how deep you put an explosive in the ground is how high it comes up. And how deep the pain and the racism and the murders of black men and black women in America. This is how deep it went, and it bubbled, how high it bubbled above the surface. And you're looking at it. When you seeing these buildings on fire, because these buildings, and they can be rebuilt, a lot of them got insurance on them. But when you see these buildings on fire and things destroyed, you looking at what racism looks like, what it causes. When they say, oh man, it looks like a war-torn city. Racism tears from within, and it's an unnecessary blockade against the strive and the advancement of the individual. So that when it says you have the right for the pursuit of happiness, and somebody comes along and say, no, you don't, we're going to stop you right here. You don't have the same rights as white Americans. You don't get the white privilege. You stay behind. But yet your creator instilled in you all the desires and wonders, and you want to test your talents, and you want to be free, and you want to watch a damn bird without being harassed and police called up on you. Come on. It went too far. And so the outer frustration that bubbles out into society, it goes too far as well. Too far on both sides. Now we can have true dialogue and deal with the issue. But I'm just simply saying that a lot of this is so there will not be another one. There will not be the next one. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, the arrest of the other 3 officers is on the way. Verbal Pig Radio, we're out.